This is a Sirian transmission on healing from the book Fifth Dimensional Healing by Christina Martine. In order to grasp the concept of healing on a non-material level, it is paramount to go over the difference between dimensions and densities. Densities can be seen as areas of consciousness, and dimensions the aspects therein. The densities can be correlated to the chakras within the human body. To make this intake of knowledge especially easy to digest, we shall stick to the 7 densities to align with the most commonly known 7-chakra system. Within the first density, we find the elements, minerals and electricity, the building blocks of life, the foundation for all physical matter. The elementals can be called upon to assist in the evolution of your own soul and to balance your energies. The exact place in space and time you chose to be born into this world will determine the elemental structure of your energetic body. No one on this planet within fifth dimensional consciousness was born completely elementally balanced, and thus must take the proper precautions to balance their fields. The elementals love working with humans and can be utilized with the practice of energetic healing and intention. In the second density, we find the majority of the plants and animals. We say the majority because, of course, some of the animals on your planet Earth are observably more intelligent than the humans who have fallen back into unconsciousness because of the deception, lies, and brainwashing of the mainstream media. Your dolphins still maintain their connection to our 6th density consciousness. We find our creative impulse and sexual desire begin to awaken in the 2nd density. In the 3rd density, we find humans at a more basic level of consciousness, with self-awareness and primal instincts, but lacking greater knowledge of the self. The first 3 densities contain 4 dimensions of height, width, depth, and time. In the 3rd density, time and space are one and thus linear. Moving on to the 4th density, we find our current human beings, of which many now have mastered love. In order to fully exist within the 4th density, one must have an open heart chakra. It is important to note that all beings on Earth currently have the capability to enter into the 4th density by choosing to offer love rather than remain in a fear-based illusion. Up until the 4th density, however, entities can still remain in service to self mode. The 4th density is an emotional realm where the lure of the ego still endures. Beyond the 4th density, the light of awareness prevents those from choosing anything other than the actions that serve the good of all. It is true now that on your planet, most humans are entering from 3rd density into the 4th density, the 5th dimensional Earth plane. The 5th dimensional Earth plane will no longer be inhabited by 3rd density humans who cannot grasp a greater understanding of compassion for all souls as one consciousness. Some newer souls will not be harvested into the next phase of evolution, so eagerly awaited by those already awakened. Do not pity these souls, for this is simply their path, not worse nor better. These particular souls, who either have more learning to do or who have neglected their studies, will be transferred to another Earth-like home or another similar timeline to finish their 3rd density cycle.
Sound expands.
As all souls have free choice, they may choose to continue to remain in the illusion of separation for as long as they please, but inevitably the pain they inflict upon their own souls will force them awake. In the fifth density, we find yet higher beings who would not appear physical to third density humans, but would to one another. It is in this density that we master love on an even deeper level and step confidently into our magical abilities of instant manifestation. Only when one desires to manifest from a place of purity for the benefit of all can one exist harmoniously in this density. In the sixth density, one can access profound wisdom and knowledge of the universe. Within the fifth or sixth density is where one finds their higher self, as you like to call it. This higher self is nothing other than a future version of you with a greater awareness of self. In the larger perspective, this higher self and your present self are not separate, as all that occurs is one. The higher self can be called upon for guidance at any time through simple intention alone. There are many higher selves that currently coexist with a consciousness focused in your present self. The fourth, fifth, sixth densities are fifth dimensional, containing height, width, depth, and time that is fluid and separate from space. Finally, we come to the seventh density, where the Oversoul can be found, which contains all knowledge of all lifetimes, past, present, and future. In this density, we can access our individual and collective Akashic records, where all thoughts, emotions, sensations, and memories from all lifetimes are recorded for all of eternity. The seventh density does not contain any dimensions and remains non-material. Thoughts and emotions do not require a medium to travel through, and from the fourth density and beyond are easily sent and received from many different planes of existence, even instantaneously. Because of the separation of time from space within fifth-dimensional consciousness, fifth-dimensional beings, including you reading this transmission, can indeed travel with the astral body to the seventh density Oversoul to retrieve information regarding past, present, or future lives. This can easily be done through entering the heart through meditation. All chakras are gateways into the various densities of consciousness. The heart chakra being one of the easiest entrances into your personal Akashic records, along with the collective ones. An awakened direct message center or crown chakra may enable you to directly receive from the Akashic records also. It is important to note that you also have several bodies that you enjoy living in. A lot of people on your planet currently have a body but do not live in it for the majority of their time, instead preferring to live in the mental or emotional body. It is paramount for humans to open the heart chakra, also enabling them to access their astral bodies to travel fifth dimensionally. The exploration of the higher chakras will enable all to access the higher realms of existence and to do so consciously. The activation of the light body is another subject we would like to address through this channel. Death has never been anything to fear, as of course it's only a transition. Though when you remain unconscious of your light body, used to travel astrally, when you die, you will enter into a void and have little control over what you witness. It is likely that you'll be cycled back into reincarnation, where you will learn to raise your vibration and step into your true divinity. You will likely return to Earth without your memories. During a resurrection, you die with an awareness that you do indeed have a spiritual body that is just as real as the one you've become so attached to. With the awareness of your light body, you move consciously into an area of consciousness and no longer have to reincarnate on Earth unless you choose to. Your memories remain intact. During an ascension, you remain fully aware and leave the Earth fully conscious to enter into a plane with all your memories. There is no time spent in the holding area. You enter immediately into a higher plane and no longer have to incarnate unless you so choose. This knowledge is shared not to create fear, but to inspire further exploration into the nature of your own consciousness. Even with the slightest awareness that you are not your mind, that you are indeed an energetic being, you will not be unconsciously cycled back into reincarnation. You will have the choice about where and when you will go next.